Good morning, folks. Apologies there wherever you're joining us from. Do let us know the song is coming through now. It's always something. It's always something. Do let us know if you're getting that song loud and clear. You know, I didn't get to see if my mic was on. The receiver was on, but my mic apparently wasn't on. But again, happy to have all of you here with us, folks. Welcome to FYI. It's the 10 to 4 25th day, I'm back now. 25th day of August. For your information, it's the 25th day of August. We're at the end of the month. By the time we get into the weekend, 26, 27, Monday is the 28th. The month is done. No doubt, as Chinese, we're always looking to see, we're always looking to see what's happening there. With the month is concerned, because we're watching to see when that paycheck is rolling in. Fidel Albert and I see Samoa Williams and Ethelene Peters and Jamo Marcus. Our apologies there, folks. Talk it up to exuberance. Talk it up to exuberance. We're happy that you folks are here with us. Good to have each and every one of you on the live. We are trying to make sure that we have gone through to all of the true and correct places, valid viewers only, credible comments. Good to have all of you here with us, guys. And I dare say, I want to let you know that we are so much closer uh, from where we started with our fundraising for our drone. Margaret has said the Christmas cleaning has already begun, and I want to thank Margaret for her own contribution. I noticed her comment as I look down there to our drone project. Bella Mona, we see you as well, and Macnell Barrow, we see all of you good folks. The technicians who are on duty, please let us know again. You all came through for us that first time there. Do let us know again if you're receiving our audio loud and clear wherever you're joining us from. Good to see you, Mavis David, well, and Stan Bourne. Stan is there too. Good to see you, Stan. Irwin Don Cook is here with us as well. All of those other folks joining us. Debbie Apple is here too. I want to thank the folks from CNN for sending over a cup. Some of y'all had a problem with the red cup yesterday. I don't got a problem with red CNN logo. Thanks to the folks over there. Thank you guys so much. I see we have Selena Fraser here too. Selena, how are you doing? Selena joined us out of Canada. Like so many of you in the diaspora. Belinda Halls Anderson is here. Grandmother by, of course, the marriage is Hall. We family. Please thank you. We got Hall, we got the Wright, we got Sings, we got Nelsons, we got Garnets in this family, Ali Cox. Dwayne Hall is here to the whole Hall clan. Monica Light is here on the live as well. Good to see you guys. It's Friday around at our end. And we're just happy to see all of you on the live this morning. Share, smash that emoji button. We got her about the first part of the broadcast where we didn't have audio. But good to see each and every one of you here with us, folks, from the many places all you're joining us from. I see Coyote McDonald says, loud and clear. Thank you so much. At least one of the technicians showed up for work this morning. Karen McPherson is here too. Karen, I see we got Alex. Alex, good to see you. Welcome, wherever you all are joining us from this morning. It's such a privilege. We've been here all week. We didn't take a day off this week. Thank God it's Friday. Should be told, I'm a little exhausted. Could we just admit we get a little tired? I'm a little exhausted. To try to be on vacation and put in some work all at the same time. It's a little exhausting. And if you know anything about these parts, Margaret, you better tell them. Nowhere here's wrong the car. And every place is 50 miles, 100 miles. It pays to have a vehicle in places like this. I see Beatrice is here. Beatrice, thanks for the thing. Beatrice, thanks for the thing. Thanks for the thing. As I saw Beatrice there, I'm reminded that there was an engagement by the leader of the opposition. Just yesterday, he was in Queens, I think it was. Them boys show up. Them boys show up. Yeah. As is in their nature. To show up. Them boys show up. Them boys show up. But we can talk about that. We're going to talk about that. We can fix them. There's that too. Vanilla Garnett is here. Let Me Go is here as well. That's a name on YouTube. Let Me Go. Right? Derek Wills is here too. Brenda Moore. I see Jim Moore. Marcus Vester Hardy. Raj Kumar is here too. Guys, I really want to thank all of you who have contributed in one way or the next. We are about $700 off of our target for our drone. And I know, right? I know that we are that much closer. We are that much closer, and we have a third of the way to go. It wasn't yesterday morning I was talking to you all. I said we're off the mark by a third. And now we're closing in. We're closing in on the finish line. We can do some good things together. We have done some good things together thus far. Margaret said them boys know the able. Folks, I don't know about you, but I am very tempted. I am very tempted to hear from a couple of you this morning. It's Friday morning. I'm very tempted to hear from a couple of you. So send me a WhatsApp message if you want. Let me see if I can rig this up quickly. We don't have all of the tools we usually have based on the fact we are traveling, but I think we can rig it up, right? Let me see if I can do it. I think we can rig it up. Yeah. Let me see if I can do it. I think I can do a workaround. So send me a WhatsApp message, brief, nothing long, nothing long, right? Nothing long, and not too many. Oh my lord! I think I just created a monster. I want to hear from a couple of you. Y'all know our one thing we have, or one what do you call it? What you call it, folks? The one number we have 6276963. And with that, I want to make a segue to say, as I was saying, thanks to all of those persons who've been so helpful in this regard, right? So helpful in this regard, helping us to procure a drone to expand what we're doing, as we've been saying, so many times. And again, we saw it where this whole issue at Chameri North is concerned. You have a large expanse of land, a story covering people who are being displaced, might be a rally, might be a protest, and you want to give a good sense of the scale. It could be a fire too, a good sense of the scale of what is happening, and you don't have that capability. And we want to bridge that this morning. So I would love to hear from a couple of you this morning. A couple of you, not too many. I hope I can rig this thing together and I can bring in your audio nonetheless. Right? I hope I can rig this thing and bring in your audio nonetheless. And let me see if I can I like putting people on the spot. Let me see if I can put somebody on the spot here. All right. Let me see if I can put somebody. Is that kind of an ad hoc? We got some things we want to go through, but I can just mix things up a little bit this morning. I'm going to just mix things up a little bit this morning. Who expects? I can just mix things up a little bit this morning. Well, I just called my friend. You're live on air, by the way.
On air?
You are live. You're live on air, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm playing some hot sun, Sharon, you enjoying life. But I
But
mean, happy for you. It's work bad. I
folks,
miss
we
you
have.
putting down your camera at the airport and picketing. I miss you putting down the camera, run for the picket line, and run
I
for
miss
the
it
camera
too.
at
I miss it
the
too.
airport.
And seeing you there having all the fun. I jealous you. Folks, we have Simona Brooms
No,
on
man,
the
no,
line.
no, no. You know, it's one. Why you go for the holiday? I got to back up yourself to
Back
myself,
up
man.
yourself. But let me pick your brain on two issues very quickly. What is the latest on Chameri North? And then I know you've been involved in this charity exercise, as it were, with Yvonne Coates. Tell us how that is going. Chameri North first.
Well, all right, Mary Nord first. Well, to Mary Nord, I don't know, and forgive me, I don't know what's the hoobly doobly, that the people bowling there, it was alleged that it's the airport people, the persons on the live were talking about some gear and ghoul, and they're after these lands, offering money and different things like that. But the young people there, they're standing their grounds, and they're going to conclude on their building
Mm-hmm.
because it was earmarked and identified for the young people of Tamari North under the then David Granger, headed by David Patterson, who built some beautiful homes, and I don't call them houses, to relocate some of the persons that was close to the runway.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the area in question that they're trying to grab up already got drainage and everything, proper infrastructures there, Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
And the people were promised because they had a lot of adults living with their parents. And David said, listen, we're going to relocate and we're going to make this area available for the young people. And young people, one of the youngsters, the mother died and all of that, is pushing ahead. And so, of course, just like the wealthy people, they started put down the structure. Now, forgive me, I am not going to say that it's squatting, because if it's squatting for the poor, then you got to say it's squatting for the rich.
Yeah.
The Honorable Annette Ferguson was pointing out a house without documents. So if you build this one without document, and I'm building this one without document, it's out of being built getting same permission, okay? And so, but they're standing their ground and pushing ahead to complete on their homes, and they were calling on the government to come in, sit down with them, regularize the area because the process started already, and so that they can get documents for their property. And I support such a call. If the land good for gold, it's good for them. If it's good for gear, I mean, it's good for them. Give the young people, come on, man, let's breathe life in these young people. You can't kill, they're already struggling, My mother there, they're working 18 hours a day and all of that. So I condemn that behavior. And I'm saying let good sense prevail,
Mm-hmm.
and regularize the area, meaning give the people documents so they could go to the bank and do what they're doing. Share it on ground finally on that. There's another area right there that they're bent and regularized. And the people are legend because it's a different set of people, not looking like me. And so all sorts of allegations. And I think you'll be able to see that, because I don't like to say these things, but you'll be able to see that maybe by the end of the week.
Good.
Because I'm busy here in Brickell.
Yeah. Excellent. Anything noteworthy happening on the ground there? You want to let us know about in Agricola? We fast.
Sure. But if you come, show you because I'm on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and so your viewers might be privileged to see what is happening. But I'm going to go live. The makeshift, we complete the makeshift. It's completed.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Goat is in the makeshift. She slept last night. And the final buildings, because it was 3 old buildings, the final building, the one that she was in, on the ground there, we are going to be removing that, pulling it down today. Well, it's on the ground already,
Mm-hmm.
all over, but we're going to just remove everything today.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a brother come to look at the tree, a very tall tree that is overlapping.
Mm-hmm.
We got to remove that and clear the area, and then we can start the rebuilding of the place. However, it is sad to see the level of poverty.
Yeah.
Yesterday we started to dismantle. We had to stop because laboratories and so on, maybe it's the oldest house in Africa. We had 2 laboratories coming out. I put one on my status running out from it there. So for safety, I said, listen, let us halt, and we can get the daylight. We wait for daylight and start to rip down in sections where we can see. Because safety comes first, and
Yeah.
the safety of the men is very, very important. So we're in ground here. Want to wrap up the demolition and removing of the debris, and then of course, we're gonna rebuild. The Bible said it's a time for breaking down,
Yeah.
and a time for building down.
Correct.
Under the heaven, build up. So now we're breaking down, and then we're gonna be building up.
Excellent.
That's what
We showed our audience some of it yesterday when you were showing the structure, having visited there, and it was so encouraging to see Bishop, Pastor, Apostle Ezra Williams with you there. A great man.
Yes, I know. Apostle Williams, always, I remember when swearing of Irfan and the police locked me up with 17 charges and so on, charges. Apostle came to that station with his wife. He used to come every month or 2 weeks to the court. And one time he said to the media, he said, man, not she, somebody else.
Yeah.
Not she, somebody else.
Yeah.
He's not alone.
Yeah.
They're here with her. The other day, here with his wife, with a contribution from me and my wife. He said, this is ministry.
Mm-hmm.
I will continue to cover you and pray you You understand? And for me, Sheriff, I got no amount of money that can buy that. And I really appreciate him, and I thank God for using him in my life too, and standing with me in truth. You understand? So I thank him. A lot of brethren from the church would call me and pray and send message and all that. It's what I'm saying. I belong to, I mean, God never leave you out there alone.
Yeah, yeah.
Always the people around you. So
Christians
I'm really happy
would understand more than most the importance of covering. Very,
yes,
very important.
yes. And you hear now when people talk about, going and do this and somebody and really using the poor to get to what they want. It's about truth. It is about hearing what the Lord is saying. And I want to say publicly, I'm not on a mission to rebuild people's homes. Everybody in this country, I believe the money that we have and what is budgeted for, people should not live like this.
Correct.
So, Sharon, it's very
Correct.
important. I want to be to your viewers. Oh, Minister Bruce, my house fall. No, I was sent here by the Lord. And I'm in obedience, okay?
Yeah.
We did it before in Kitty, when the Lord said, go and change this woman roof, the foundation. And we did it before in Kitty, William Street, Kitty. And we move with the direction of the Lord, okay?
Yeah.
And we thank him. We give him all the praise. And I'm just mentioning this to say that, I want to say to the viewers, hold your government accountable. We all must stand up against this. Social protection got a responsibility. The government got a responsibility. That we can't talk about doing roads. I'm for development. But
Correct.
the people, we are more important. You don't pocket off the money. Don't pocket off the money, right? Make sure that the poverty you should be on the list. Let me strike that down, right? Let us do a mapping out. I told them, or they could have hired my consultancy firm to identify for them in communities what are the social ills and how we can fix it by facts. I would give a team and go house to house. You understand me? And then they would be guided properly. So when they execute, street by street, house by house, target it is, and we coming against poverty. But I guess that is not it, because you saw the doobly last night with your president. I know you're not
Well,
about that.
we come into that, but you can talk to it, speak to it. We're gonna come to it on our program. Go right.
Doubly, I said inappropriate conduct in public office because Air funds a public servant. All right, and that is improper conduct. And so I don't know if you see the newspapers. I hope it on all the front page papers. Calling for this public servant to leave office. Pack up and go. Pack up and go. Don't wait for reason. Just pack up and go.
We'd all be better for it. We'd all be better for it.
Yes, sure. Yeah. If you know me too well and you're hearing a full cock and all of that, I'm on the ground and bring to the people. And in this country, we've got full cocks, and you can't tell a full cock stop rowing. All right, so.
Understood. Understood. Thanks for coming through on such short notice. Thanks for answering when I called.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for putting me on the spot, and to all your viewers. I want to encourage you and that you stay focused. That we come together for a better day. We come together to fight poverty.
That's right.
All right. And
that's right.
If there's a government, it look like they're, like it's okay, then that we come together and remove them. We keep removing governments until they catch themselves. You come in and you don't deliver out the place. You come, you play, and you come in, you don't deliver out the place. You understand? We hold them accountable.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Simona.
But you're not holiday, man. You
no,
working.
I'm working too. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Thank you, Simona.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, folks. I'm happy I was able to do that. I'm very happy I was able to do that. How are you folks doing where you are this morning? We're going to come around to that issue with Irfan in just a little bit. We're going to come around to that very, very issue. But thanks to all of you who have come through on such very, very... but thanks to Simona, former minister there, who came through on such Very, very short notice. Let's head into some of the other things that we are tracking this morning. Internationally, folks, good to see Patricia Botchway on the line, Fidel Albert. I see Andrew Griffith. I see Margaret Nelson is there too, and all the other folks. I'm good to see you. We're gonna circle around to Irfan and some of what is happening on that end. So what happened last evening at that end at this building expo? We're gonna circle around to some of that. So we're gonna touch on it. You have no fear. Have no worry, folks. We're gonna touch on that. We want to pick up on some of the stuff we're covering internationally, folks. Of course, this is a photograph that's in circulation. It's trending, folks. It's trending on the internet. This is the mugshot of Trump in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, where he made an appearance. He was arrested for all intents and purposes. Fourth indictment as a former president. Yep, we were trying to find the footage where there was a huge convoy when he was leaving for Atlanta. Folks, it's too much for a four-time indicted former president. If you see cars, if you see police vehicles, what was all that for? We're going to scramble together that footage for a broadcast. What was all of that for? Four indictments, right? And some very, very credible allegations. And it's not like Anil Nandilal and the crew in Georgetown who brought those electoral fraud charges against several persons. 2 years later, those cases are languishing in the court. 2 years later, June Griffith, Paulette Greaves, and Beatrice, 2 years later, languishing in the courts. Again, Beatrice, thanks for the thing. It's only in a program like this. You interrupt commentary to give a shout out to one of the fans. We don't care because we love all of you. Dan Abram, Yvonne Ramasar, Margaret Nelson, Orin Don Cook. Orin, how is Region 3 treating you there? Are you back? To let us know. These are some of the things happening around the world. Prigozhin, the Wagner mercenary boss, who didn't smoke yesterday. He said Prigozhin was a very talented man. This is the man that led an insurrection, almost succeeded against trying to topple some folks in the army there, the army chief in Russia. I think the head of one of the intelligence units as well. This was between August 23rd and 24th. I don't know if you guys were like me. You were stunned when you saw those tanks and armored vehicles on a march to Moscow. Putin had vowed, there will be consequences. He had vowed that there will be consequences. Well, folks, well. We saw a plane fell from the sky. They said Prigozhin was listed among the passengers. And now dead. 2 months to the date of that insurrection. 2 months to the date, folks. 2 months to the date. I want to quote some of what Putin said because it makes for interesting reading. I want to just touch on some of what Putin said about his former colleague and friend, right? Eugeny Prigozhin. Good? Now, before I get to what Putin said, the Americans are saying, in one instance, that U.S. officials, this is what Reuters are reporting, says that Washington is looking at a number of theories on what brought down this plane, including a surface-to-air missile. And then another bit of reporting out of the U.S. State Department and the U.S. Department of Defense had ruled out surface-to-air missile. They say they have no information on that, rather. of a surface-to-air missile being used to take down Prigozhin's private jet. That's out of the U.S. Department of Defense. Good. Yesterday, in commenting about Prigozhin's death, right, commenting about it, Reuters says that he paid generous tribute to the renegade mercenary, calling him a talented businessman who knew how to look after his own interests, right, and who could, when asked, do his bit for the common cause. You got to understand the nuances. Putin is not just plucking words out of thin air, you know. This is a carefully crafted script that he's following. He could look after your own interests, Prigozhin, and he could do his bit for the common cause, he says. He also described Prigozhin as a flawed character who had made some bad mistakes. Sound like Trump here. Bad hombres. You got some bad hombres. We got to deal with them. He had made some bad mistakes. But he went on to express his condolences to the families of all the victims. He had about 10 persons. And incidentally, these were all from the hierarchy of the Wagner group on this plane. So in one swipe, Putin has decapitated Wagner. Interesting. Very interesting turn of events. He went on to say, it is always a tragedy. All right. He said this was part of televised remarks. And finally, comments attributed to Putin. He said, I had known Prigozhin for a very long time, since the start of the 90s. Right? Since the start of the 90s. He was a man with a difficult fate. He was a man with a difficult fate. And he made serious mistakes in life, like the march on Moscow. Right? Like the march on Moscow. And finally, a close associate of Putin, Chechen leader Ramzan Kadyrov, Chechen leader. He is noted to be a Putin loyalist. He said Prigozhin was his friend. And he had asked the mercenary chief, listen to this, to set aside his personal ambitions. But lately, he either did not see or did not want to see a full picture of what was going on in the country. Interesting nuances there. Right? Interesting. I wonder who meeting in quiet places, whispering in telephones, having secret meetings, that we have a difficult fate. And we want to see the full picture. I wonder how many persons. One wonders. Prigozhin was a talented man, he said. Talented businessman. He knew how to look after your own interests. And he could pitch in a little bit for the common cause. That's what he said. He could pitch in a little bit for the common cause. Coming in closer, folks. Coming in closer. Hold 1 second, folks. Sorry about that. I saw a very important call coming in. Apologies there. But that being said, you know, how many people whispering things in phones about, you know, we have a difficult fate. Made some bad mistakes. Bad mistakes. I want to thank those persons who are contributing right now as we speak. On our YouTube channel, in the comment section, there's a $sign. And if you click on that, it asks you to purchase some stickers, and part of the proceeds from that comes to our the work that we do here as well. Loretta Argyle will see you there, and also Yolanda Thomas. Loretta and Yolanda, thank you so much those contributions to our broadcast via YouTube. So we did alert you yesterday that Caribbean Airlines management and the pilots were going to have a meeting. That meeting did happen. The pilots were offered 7.5% increase in wage and salary, and they wrongly refused that. So, folks, doesn't look like this whole thing with the strike or the sit-in or the sit-out or the sick-in or the sick-out, it's totally out of the way. So we're watching this. 7.5 they've offered them, Naomi. 7.5. Right? 7.5. They refuse that. And since I see Naomi in the comment, brought a banana just for Naomi. That's what Naomi special to us. Brought a banana just for Naomi. I caught it close by in case she asked. She thought the fake bunch wouldn't go. Folks, we eat so many bananas around. They come and go swiftly. Donna Joseph, Naomi, I see P. Alicop is there, Fenelliness, Donna, Abida, Monroe. Good to see each and every one of you on the live. The pilots say no to this 7.5% proposal. Yep. They say no. We ain't having it. And the 592 folks, there's never an easy day. Never a dull moment at all. We want to say congrats to all our students who did so remarkably well. We love the front page of the Taichung News, who really are celebrating the achievements of our children. Whether you got 27, 34, or 52 subjects, or you got one, we're gonna work with you. So, but I want to say congrats to all of those folks who did well. When you put in the time, you put in the effort, right? Sometimes it's getting reward. And they tell us that success is when preparation meets opportunity. You prepare, you study, you do the work. Then the exams come, bam, bam, bam. You ace those exams. So congrats to all our kids, all our students. And as we were saying, let's give them this enabling environment. And let us not be afraid to see them flourish. Let us not be afraid to see them flourish. We're learning that a QC student is the top performer for CAPE. And this is Narish Jagnanan. Congrats to Narish and all his other colleagues at the CAPE level who have succeeded, who have done well. Congrats again to Narish Jagnanan, topping CAPE. That's not an easy feat, That is not an easy feat. Topping CAPE there. They're telling us also at the CSEC level, let me see if I get a young man who has stopped. Maurizo Mangra from Anna Regina Secondary School on the Essequibo Coast. Right? Maurizo Mangra. Congrats to him. Topping CSEC. And all the other students who wrote CSEC and you are successful. Congrats to you as well. Continue to push and to press and to move forward. So congrats again to all our kids. Well done. That's all we say. Well done. You work hard, you get the result. Preparation meets opportunity. Success. Result from that. Hard work. Not only our students at that level, you might be a big student pursuing some certificate, some degree, some PhD. Right? I encourage all of us, if you put in the work, folks, you can get a result. You put in the work, Father gonna honor you, you get a result. Out front parts, Annette Cummins, Isabella Butters, John Sullivan. Good to see each and every one of you on the live this morning. Good to see you folks on the live. And again, congrats to all our students who performed so extraordinarily well at these examinations. Right? Congrats to all of you. Moving on, good folks. Moving on. Billy Expo. I'm sorry I missed it. I had it down on the schedule things for August. When I saw it was advertising, Yeah. I had it down. got to visit Building Expo, see what deals happening and so on. Right? But I don't know if Building Expo is going to be overshadowed. Like some of what took place last night, they tell us. Remember, we were showing you last night in our program, we dealt with Sarah Lynch, the outgoing American ambassador in Guyana. In fact, let's say it's been outgoing for about 3 months now, party after party, event after event. She's going, but she ain't really going. Partly. Last evening at this Building Expo, some folks said that the Irfan's bodyguard was backing Sarah. Some folks said he didn't recognize, the American ambassador in the crush of people there at the Providence Stadium. Right. Some folks said he may not have recognized her and wanted to keep her off from coming into the bubble. Irfan's bubble. It's a big bubble. Right. Who tell you to do that? Who told him to do that, folks? It didn't end well at all. I just put it that way. It didn't end well at all for him. Who told him to do that? Sorry there. All manner of things befalling us. Right? Who told him to do that, folks? As I said, didn't end very well at all. Right? Because on the heels of that was Irfan. Trying to find my place. Yeah. On the heels of that was Irfan and Irfan's actions. Now, I want to give you all the benefit. Of seeing what transpired here. I want to give you all the benefit. Fidel and Beryl and Brenda, Sheila Boy Child. Take a look and take a listen to what we saw. It's only left for Irfan fight now. It's only left for Irfan fight. Take a look, folks.
In specific fields, there will be a booth designated to that here tonight. So persons who are unemployed and looking to become employed, they can come down here to the Providence National Stadium and they can find out more about how they can improve their skills, how they can become employed, gainfully employed, that is, in whatever sector they may desire, but more so construction. And with that being said,
Yeah. You saw that? I'm watching that back again. The music was a little distracting. And that sounded like the band in Turks and Caicos, the police band I keep telling you guys about. The music intoxicating there. What was all that about? Huh? What was all of that about, folks? That's what I want to know. Fidel, Andrew Griffith, Orin Don, Fennell, Vesta. What's all that about? It's only left for you. You see, the thing is, if the man didn't do any work, was something. You're doing your work, it's something. Another president, another person would have said, Chief, this is the American ambassador. Let her through. You understand what I'm telling you? You understand what I'm telling you? But not Irfan. Right? Not the bully. Not the catfish bully. Anybody else would have said, that's okay. This is the American ambassador. Recognizing that your security didn't recognize or what have you. Right? You probably wouldn't expect the American ambassador beating through the crowd like a flat foot. So one imagines that maybe the security personnel was trying to, say, ma'am, this is the president, let him through. Right? He barged in. God have mercy. Take a look at that. He run in. Or run out.
Specific fields, there will be a booth designated to that here tonight. So persons who are unemployed and looking to become employed, they can come down here to the Providence National Stadium and they can find out more about how they can improve their skills, how they can become employed, gainfully employed, that is, in whatever sector they may desire, but more so construction. And with that being said,
Yeah. Couldn't even benefit from what when the battery was saying there. He want to be president. He want to be but yeah, he like Jackie. Jackie want to be mayor. He want to play every part of the field. He want to be mayor. He want to be president. He want to be vice president. What kind of behavior is that? And John says a disgrace. Jennifer Arca is a power drunk. Right? Guyana nowadays say, wait, play one more time. Hold on, you got facts. You got facts twice. Richard Clark says, what a disgrace. What a disgrace. And that is precisely, folks, precisely what it was. Nothing short of a disgrace. Naomi says, Irfan trying so hard to make himself look good. What you get in the struggle there about? You are the person that they're trying to protect. And to provide a sanitized area for you to move. Not because it's Irfan, but by virtue of sitting in the seat that you're in. And what is so egregious? If security personnel did not recognize Sarah Lynch. Not everybody in the politics. When you get to scan so many faces and make some security determination, if you recognize it, fairly well. If the man didn't recognize it, what is the matter? Right? Forbes says that from the body language, one could see that the individual was shocked. This is the security personnel, Forbes. The security personnel was shocked. Even Sarah, to her credit, look a little like, you know, Sarah look a little. I thought from that big party that I had for Sarah at State House, Sarah gone home and packed her suitcase. Me know Sarah at Building Expo. So there's another party next week. You see problem Sarah causing? Huh? You see problem Sarah causing? Now, if Sarah had gone home, nothing like that would happen. Now they're telling us her brother has been transferred. They're telling us that gentleman there has been transferred. Right? And we're hearing that he gone to Black Bullet, they're sending to Black Bullet at Ankoko. Who no. Orwin Don says that the security person was shocked. Isabella said, Sharon, the girl is a fun by child. And he misbehaved. That's how he treated him. And so he left him fight the man. Now they're telling us the man, because he didn't recognize Sarah, he's been transferred. He gone for Black Bullet at Ankoko. Oh, no. Sarah, you see the things you're causing? If only you would go home. Rhonda Gordon, Beryl Crawford, if only Sarah would go home. I see a Facebook user said, Sarah belong in the streets. Sarah belong in the streets. If only Sarah would go home, all of that could have been avoided. All of that.
specific fields, there will be a booth designated to that here tonight. So persons who are unemployed and looking to become employed, they can come down here to the Providence National Stadium and they can find out more about how they can improve their skills, how they can become employed, gainfully employed, that is, in whatever sector they may desire, but more so construction. And with that being said,
Stunning images. Stunning, very stunning images there. Wow. Debbie Collins says so shameful. Right? Vesta Hardy says protecting she interests. He in a bad spot. I don't know if it's after that Gao speech he's trying to redeem himself. After he cussed out the Americans, I don't know. But he's in a bad spot, folks. Right? Margaret Nelson says, how embarrassed. Yep. How embarrassed. Abby D'Souza says, what a show. What a show indeed. Right. Diane Johnson says, Sarah drinking nice soup. Sarah drinking nice soup. So why go home? Nice time in Guyana. Diane, I think you captured it so well. Go to the front of the class. I'm going to give you Naomi banana. Go to the front of the class. If you enjoy nice time in Guyana, why go home? Why? Why? If you enjoy nice time in Guyana, it's not common sense, you would stick around. Farewell party after farewell party. Sarah's still there. I blame Sarah for last night. If Sarah had gone home, like she promised she would, like she's mandated to do, that would never happen. The man still get you work. That man would have still had his job. I don't know if Sarah asked for him to be terminated or Irfan acting on his own deliberate judgment. But the man is gone. Back channels. We're learning the man is gone. And as we're on Irfan, yesterday Irfan run out. Irfan run out yesterday. Right? William Gladstone owned slaves in the process of being a plantation owner in the West Indies. He owned slaves. And we all know the horrible, horrendous accounts of slavery, whether it's in the First World, Second World, Third World. Right? The horrible, horrible system of slavery. His family, right? His progeny, according to Irfan, his descendants came to Guyana, where Gladstone owned plantations, to give an apology. You know, there are many things I wish we had statements out of Irfan on. Many things. Right? Well, he ran out. I don't know who dressed him for the occasion, but he came out and offered some thoughts on this apology. William Gladstone, the Gladstone family, and all of that, which to our minds is an indictment on Irfan and his government. An indictment, and makes them look like hypocrites. The hypocrites they are. On full display. Folks, take a listen to some of what Irfan said. Mind you, this national address, no pun intended, this national address was about 10 minutes long. This morning, when we reviewed it on the Office of the President's page, it had about 10 emojis, 2 shares. Nobody's listening to Irfan. Nobody's listening to Irfan. Nobody. His actions last evening has gotten more attention than what he had hoped was a seminal statement on this apology by the Gladstone family. Take a listen to some of what he said.
In recent years, the demands for reparations for African enslavement and indentureship have intensified. The call for reparations is not intended to promote or leverage shame or guilt over the slave trade and slavery. It is not extortion. Instead, the demand for reparations is a commitment to righting historical wrongs. The transatlantic slave trade and African enslavement were an affront to humanity itself. the Durban Declaration of 2001 of the World Conference Against Racism, Racial Discrimination, Xenophobia, and Related Intolerance acknowledged that slavery and the slave trade are a crime against humanity and should always have been so. Millions of Africans endured unspeakable horrors, displacement, captivity, extreme and brutal physical and sexual violence, and a severing of family ties. They were treated as chattel. Their labor exacted under the harshest conditions. They dehumanized slaves by taking away their culture, religion, and even their names. The heinousness of this crime against humanity demands that we seek to right these wrongs.
Yeah. Righting wrongs. And that's all good and well for the Gladstone. But when you turn the searchlight inwards, as a good book says, truth on the inward parts. When you turn the searchlight back on the PPP and you talk about people who have been dispossessed, the PPP started looking like the Gladstones. The PPP start looking like the Gladstones. You know, when Freddie Kipsoon was in his prime, yeah. Right now, you're at the pasture gate. He go out the pasture. When he was in his prime, Freddie Kipsoon studying the PPP, the Jack Neo presidency, wrote a paper, a master class, the title of which is Ethnic Power and Ideological Racism, Comparing Presidencies in Guyana. Ethnic Power and Ideological Racism. His sharp focus was at the Jack Neo presidency, right? And on systematic racism. This wasn't me. Wasn't APNU. Wasn't the AFC. Was an academic at the time at the University of Guyana, putting into sharp focus and context what was happening locally, and I dare say, still happening locally. Right? Ideological racism he talked about, and produced the evidence to show how systematically the PPP, worked against the interests of Afro-Guyanese in Guyana. So when you hear Irfan, you see, talking about righting historical wrongs, I set up 2 years ago as we're talking about righting historical wrongs. Lincoln Lewis fighting for his forebearers' property bought by his foreparents, trying to right historical wrongs. Nandalal went in, Kingley, and told their supporters, broke down Lincoln Lewis fence, his family's fence, broke it down. We ain't got no time with he. So when I hear the hypocrite Irfan, with this diatribe on the Gladstone family, right, who were slave owners, Irfan them trying to own their own slaves. This is what the historians call neo-slavery. When you go on your bulldozing success, you're bulldozing Hillfoot, you're bulldozing the other places, Cane View Mucker, you're bulldozing Amelia Zouard. And you want to talk about writing historical wrongs? When you see huge swaths of land in Linden, on the Linden-Suzac Highway, being carved up for friends, family, and favorites, you really want us to talk about righting historical wrongs? And then he has this manufactured rage, you see, in the script. You got some notations, raise your hand, look forceful. So when the presentation started, he's all calm. And then suddenly he's conducting an orchestra. We got to right the wrongs. You see? Other people should talk about that. Not Irfan, who is leading a government that every day they're committing egregious acts against an entire people. And you want to lecture people about who must right historical wrongs? Yeah? You got some wrongs right in front of you. You can't see to right. Right in front of you. It was a shame to see Nandalal saying to villagers, break down the fence. Don't worry, Lincoln. Because some people in this country must own nothing. 500 million appropriated by men and mission, but only some people can get a house from it. Yeah? And when they give you a house, it didn't look like the other people's houses. So when we're talking about righting historical wrongs, we got to put a lot on the table, you know. Yeah? We got to put a lot on the table. What was the qualifying thing that gave Irfan that huge swath of Gaisuko land in high flat that he built a mansion? What qualified him for that? And not somebody else. If we talk about righting historical wrongs, who closed down, that estate there that gave him that big swath of former cane lands there? Huh? You want to talk about righting historical wrongs? I will recommend to all of us, don't read Freddie now. Don't read Freddie now. He's a pack of nonsense. But this paper, Ethnic Power and Ideological Racism, Comparing Presidencies in Guyana, is a must read. Right? It is dated now, but it is so potent. It is so potent. Some of what is captured here. It is so potent. I think around 2010, this paper was written. Right? And when you read it, I'm trying to find a portion of it. You will think it was written yesterday when you read it. Right? When you go through it, it shows you systematically how wealth in this country has been transferred to one set of people over a period of time. One set of people. Right? Over a long period of time. And in a section of this paper, he says, hard as one may try to situate the changes, this transfer of wealth to friends, family, and favorites, hard as one may try to situate these changes within the framework of just politics, the race factor is simply too compelling to ignore. Right? You better write the historical wrongs that you could write. Right? Write the historical wrongs that you could write. Listen to this. This is Kesun. Final portion I'm going to read. The story of African marginalization. They want to talk about this. And righting historical wrongs. The story of African marginalization grows bigger with each passing day This is 2010, Freddie writing, somewhere there about. In a country torn by ethnic competition and ethnic fears, the Jagdeo presidency has become hardened to the accusations that its policies are contributing to a climate of social instability. We mentioned earlier the realistic position of President Burnham in relation to tax evasion by Indian business people. It would dent the charges of African marginalization if Mr. Jagdeo could strategize in a similar fashion. But we see no movement in that direction. That's one portion of it. Right? And another portion of this paper, he says, the widespread ejection of a school of highly qualified African Guyanese from the public service under the PPP government led to the then opposition leader to accuse the government of ethnic cleansing, is a comment he was referring to. Height. The widespread ejection of a school of highly qualified African Guyanese from the public service on the PPP government. Let the opposition leader to accuse the government of ethnic cleansing. I told you this paper could have been written yesterday easily. Right? Easily. Another part of the paper, he says, it seems the government, right, is making a concerted effort to remodel the society by creating an African underclass in accordance with racial criteria. Folks, listen to this. Listen to this. It's instructive. In this Freddie Kissoon paper, right? Final quote, I promise you. Final quote. He says here, while Mrs. Whitened, who was an education official, was waiting years for her confirmation, while Miss Whitened was waiting years for her confirmation in a particular position she held, Indians in the ministry with lesser service were promoted. Hear this now. Mrs. Bibi Ali, mother of Minister of Housing, Irfan Ali, was elevated from assistant education officer for primary schools to deputy education officer for development. Right? This is Freddie Kissoon. Mrs. Manik Chan, mother of Minister of Social Services, Priya Manik Chan, was promoted to a placement officer for secondary schools, while Mary Luke, an African Guyanese, who held that position, was demoted to placement officer for nursery schools. Folks, you really want to talk about writing historical wrongs? Huh? You really want to talk about writing historical wrongs? Freddie Kissoon in this paper chronicles systematically how the PPP pushed out African Guyanese out of prominent positions in Guyana. It's right there. It's not me. Read Freddie. Ethnic power and ideological racism comparing presidencies in Guyana. 2010. June 2010. June 2010. So while Gladstone and family, Gladstone himself, committed egregious acts in contributing to slavery, no qualms there. Right? You got to come to that process with clean hands to talk about, try to condemn them. You got to come with clean hands, not when you're doing the same thing. Not when you're doing the same thing. You got to come with clean hands. He who wants equity must do equity. Right? When you come in, you're trying to be an interlocutor. You got to come with clean hands in the process. Clean hands. Who no. And Freddie's a shadow of his former self now, but that paper and the veracity of its argument still stand. It still stands. Yeah, we're out of time, folks. That's going to do it for us today and for this week and our morning program. That's going to do it for us. Good having so many of you on the live this morning. Good having so many of you on the live, good folks. And I want to let you know, as you traverse the city, you're looking for a good justice of the peace, a good commissioner of both Strafford David. We want to recommend, of course, the Alistair Collins Farm. They're down near the Carrion Mall, Lamaha Street, between Camp and Waterloo Street. 6. I never remember the number. I never remember the number. Let me try to pull it up. Folks. I never remember the number. We'll try to pull it up. It's good to have had all of you on the live this morning. I want us to talk about those issues as a country, and we need our own Truth and Reconciliation Committee. We own Truth and Reconciliation Committee. 649-6410. That's it. 649-6410, 685-6448. Those are the numbers. The Carrion Mall for the Alistair Collins Firm. Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Street. Highly recommend we use them all the time. All the time. Good folks. That's going to do it for us. At this end, take care, good folks. Until we see you guys next week, it's our final morning show for this week. Take good care, guys. It's been great being here with you. Yet another day. Selvin Peters, international lawyer. Selvin Peters is on the live, and Selvin says, it's a nice flower pot you have here. You know, it's a nice one. As observant as only a lawyer, as only a senior counsel, an international lawyer would be. Thanks for joining our humble program. Attorney Peters, thank you so much. Osman Hutch is here as well. Amabel Clement, Margaret Nelson. Good to see you, Margaret. Good to see you, Margaret. Y'all boy Irfan. Good to see each and every one of you. My God. My God. What have we come to?
In specific fields, there will be a booth designated to that here tonight. So persons who are unemployed and looking to become employed, they can come down here to the Providence National Stadium and they can find out more about how they can improve their skills, how they can become employed, gainfully employed, that is, in whatever sector they may desire, but more so construction. And with that being said,
couldn't resist, folks. Couldn't resist. That's our time. And that's our program. Stay safe out there. Good people, stay safe. Rihanna Mingo, Rhonda Gordon is here. Beryl Crawford, Amabel Clement, Brenda Brafford is here too. Good to see you. Tessa Lynn Eastman as well. That's going to do it for us, folks. Have a great day. Until we see you guys next week back on our morning program. That's the press of this end. Stay safe.